All right. That block looks really good, huh? Now we just have to get the cylinder heads looking that good. Yeah. These are pretty greasy, disgusting. We're gonna take everything apart. One thing, remember way back in last April, I don't know, episode 1, 2, we were seeing blue smoke coming out of the tailpipe on Bear, which means it's burning oil, which means it's either bad rings, oil's leaking past the rings, or we have bad valve seals. And seeing the condition of those pistons and rings, I mean, my bet is on valve seals. So we'll take all these valves out, we'll clean everything up, we'll check out the valve seals or lack thereof. I've got all new seals, a little baggie of them here. Then we'll lap these valves in. I'll show you how to do that real quick. And that it's pretty much a simple process. And then we'll be able to take this back down to the shock and bolt this to the block. So let me get set up and we'll get going. Okay, remember the tray for the valve train, the rockers, push rods, lifters, stuff like that. That is a great tool to keep you organized. Another one is this tray. I got this one from Summit. It's like 40 bucks. This is for valves and springs and whatnots. The only thing I don't like about it is how shallow it is. I mean, you're going to sit this down and you're not going to want to move it because you put a valve and spring and like a whole set of them here. Just you bump that, everything's going to fall over. But anyways, I'm going to use it. We're going to be working right here and we're going to be putting our stuff over here. So let's pull these springs and valves. All right. All right, we've got our cylinder head here. This is the passenger side. Here's the exhaust intake. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna just work my way down the row here. This is kind of a spring compressor I'm gonna use. There's many different styles. I like this one for small block Chevys. Just clamps on to the spring. Loosen it up a little bit here. Let me get a good grab. Then you just tighten it like so. See how those little fingers grabbed onto the spring? And these arms are staggered so they can grab two different coils of the spring. Then you just turn this guy. Just tighten it down. You'll notice that the valve is dropping down. We roll this. So the valve is moving down. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just take a dead blow hammer. I'm just going to tap that and it's going to pop up. We're going to do it in this position so I don't lose the keepers. I think we're down far enough. There we go. Get yourself a little magnet. You can grab one keeper. And come on, keeper. There's the other one. Now we can basically lift this spring off. Now what's catching is what's left of the valve seal. We'll see. Oh, there's one on there. Hard as a rock. Oh yeah, that's all crumbly. That's garbage. So that's what our spring looks like. Now we can just loosen this. Oh, there we go. So we got a double spring and we've got this retainer at the top. Our two keepers. We removed what was left of the valve seal again. Can you see that? It's just dust. Now our valve will come out. This is an exhaust valve. It's the smaller of the two. The intake valves are the bigger ones. We also have a shim that's down here. Looks like that. These are labeled this side up. So I'm going to take these parts, put them in my tray over there. I'm going to go ahead and put a valve here, put our shim, the spring. There's our little keepers. We're just going to work front to back, just filling all those holes. Okay, let's do this intake valve. I'll see how those little legs are staggered. Just put it on here like so. Crank this guy. Just going to take the handle of my dead blow. There we go. Magnet. There's one keeper. Two keepers. Okay, that's grabbing the seal. It's okay. I can hear it crunching. Those things are garbage. There we go. Yeah, on this one you can see what's left of the seal here. It's like hard plastic now. Look at that, it just falls apart. Also, right here, as I drop my little screwdriver, there's our shim. Again, this side up, and this side has lines. This is to help it grab. We'll pop our intake out. Yeah, that intake valve is pretty cruddy. So a lot of buildup on the back here. We're gonna be cleaning all that stuff off. All the valves are out. They're over here on the tray. And I'm noticing when they did the rebuild, they added some, or replaced some valve guides. See how nice and shiny those guys are. There's several in there. So that bodes well for us. Looks like we're just gonna do a quick valve job and we'll be done. Okay, so I've cleaned up this cylinder head with a whole bunch of different wire wheels. Yeah, you choose your poison. Electric drill, ran a tap through every single threaded bolt hole in this head, cleaned everything up real nice. I'm good with this. Yeah, you saw me cleaning valves using the bench grinder, and might have made you cringe, some of you, but I'll tell you what, it works. It's never failed me. I get all the crud off of there. We got a nice clean surface. Now what we have to do next is lap these valves in. What that means is We're going to make sure we have a really good sealing surface on the valve and on the hardened seat in the cylinder head, because if you don't, then you're losing compression, right? A little bit of compression can leak past, and then that cylinder is not doing its job. So we're going to use a little bit of valve grinding compound and my trusty Ryobi electric drill, and just a little bit of engine oil to put on the valve stem, so as we're spinning, we're not heating things up and it's staying lubricated. But okay, let's get this going here. Just want to show you a real quick before and after, guys. Here is the cylinder head. I have not touched this cylinder yet. Our sealing surface for the valves is right in this area, right here. See that like shiny silver area? Again, over here, it's going to be right in that area. It's easier to see over here. I have done this side and it looks really good. You'll see the dull silver that's been lapped in. This is what I'm talking about. If you're lapping valves and say you have a break in this, it's kind of dark in an area where it looks like the grit is not cutting, then you've got a seat problem or a valve problem. This side over here is done as well. Looks really good. We have a little dark spot right there, but I'm okay with that. We're not gonna beat a dead horse here. I don't want to grind too much out. As far as the valves go, these are two intake valves. It's very difficult to see, but you can see how nice and dull that is. That's been lapped in, and this shiny one over here still needs to be run through. But what I'm going to do is show you how I do it. We're going to lap all the valves in, and we're not going to install them yet because we're going to clean everything with brake clean, get all that grit and nasty stuff out of there first, and then we'll reinstall everything. Okay, so we're going to lap in this valve right here. This is an intake valve. I'm going to go ahead and take a little bit of engine oil. I'm going to put it on the valve stem. Then I have my valve grinding compound. Just going to smear a little bit of this on the edge of the valve, like so. Now we're going to put it into the head. Now, the old school way of doing this is they got one of them funky tools that has like a suction cup on the end of it, and it'll actually stick on the end of the valve, and then you do this like you're starting a fire, and that works great and all, but I just don't have that kind of time. So what I like to do is use my cordless drill. What I will do is I will actually chuck right onto the end of it. I don't know if you guys can see this or not. I hope so. Well, what I do is I spin my my drill at a very low RPM, and we're going to go up and down a few times. We'll probably spin it backwards and up and down a few times, and it's going to go ahead and lap that valve in. I think we're good. We'll see. Be careful, don't drop your cylinder head on the floor. Unchuck my drill. Let's remove our valve. Let's wipe all this grit off the valve itself. Oh yeah, that's pretty. I don't know if you can see it, but we have a nice dull silver sealing surface No dark spots. It's consistent. The stripe is consistent all the way around. I'm certain the head's going to look about the same. Again, we're going to wipe all that out. Looks great. So that's all there is to it. If you had some dark spots, again, you know, you can try chucking it in there and getting them out, but you don't want to grind too much off of the valve or the seat. You may have a seat problem or a valve problem, and that's a machine shop's job to figure that out. So we're lucky I'm able to do this without having to go to the machine shop, although it looks like I could do a little bit better job cleaning some of this carbon out before we do a final install these valves. Okay, we're going to start installing valves. Pretty simple process. I go ahead and compress the spring in my tool, set it aside, and I grab my valve. I like to take a little bit of oil, again, put it on the valve stem, feed that up through. Now don't forget your shim. If you had shims, make sure you put that shim in. If you didn't have shims, you don't have to worry about it, obviously. Now we're going to go ahead and take our spring, put that on like so. Now we're going to take our valve steel. These are little square cut O-rings. We're going to slip it onto the stem here. Then we're going to push it down. A little pocket screwdriver will do you. And it's got to go into the second groove on the valve. So be patient. It'll go. Just get it down in there. If you need a little bit of help, a little bit of oil will help you slip it down in there. Okay, I'm on it. I'm going to put my keepers in. There's one and the other, like so. Come on. Now we're going to release the compression or tension on the spring. And there you have it. Good to go. Okay, all the valves are installed on both heads. We are ready to go. We've got new head bolts. Let's take these down, put them on the block. Okay, before I install the cylinder head, let's just talk about a few things real quick, get it out of the way. Using the tried and true Fel-Pro gaskets. These came with our big master engine rebuild kit. I like this one. It's got the like rubber oil pan gasket in it and stuff like that. I'm not a big fan of cork. I know it works, but the rubber, just, it's my thing, right? Maybe your thing too. The part number on this kit, 260-1000BT. Looks like so. We also got 2 packages of head bolts. These are nice because they've already got the sealer on them, so I don't have to get out the gobbledygook and smear everything up. You need 1 box per cylinder head, so I have 2 boxes. This is also a Fel-Pro. Had these sitting in the garage for a long time. Finally get to use them. ES72856. I don't know if that's a good number still, but that's what I'm using. Yeah, so we're gonna do the torque in 3 steps. We're gonna do 25, 45, and 65, and that'll be it. So real simple. Take your gasket, striped side up. It's gonna go right down onto the block like that. Then we put our clean cylinder head on, which we've already checked. I've already checked the deck on the head, the sealing surface, made sure it's not warped. We are good to go. So put the cylinder head on here. This is the passenger side, and it's easy for me to remember which head is which because passenger side has a bung right here. On the driver's side, it has a little brass fitting where the engine coolant temp sensor will go. This is, you know, the way it was when we got it. So we'll go ahead and everything's clean. Set this on here very carefully. There's dial pins that are going to line up. There we go. We're good. Sometimes you may have to take a dead blow, just kind of seat it, but we're good. So, as far as the head bolts are concerned, yes, like I said, they have the sealer already on them. There are 3 different sizes. There's the short ones. There's a couple of these medium-sized ones. And there's a bunch of long ones, and I'll show you where they go here in a second. So all these short ones, they go here on this side. And yeah, they have the sealer on them because these guys enter cooling jackets. So if you remember way back when I took the engine apart and we pulled a couple of these bolts out, coolant was flying out of there. So if you reuse your old bolts, make sure you put some sealant on these bolts. Otherwise, you may end up with some leaks. So short ones are in. Got a bunch of long ones here. Real easy. Go right here. And the 2 medium size go on either end, right here and here. Now, like I said, we're gonna do 25, 45, 65, and we'll be done. You don't just go willy-nilly just tightening bolts. You do it in a pattern, and the way I like to think of it is it's like a snail or a spiral. You start in the center, and you work your way out in a circle, right? Your service manual will show you this. They're numbered. Here's the Chilton's manual. There we go. Small block Chevy. There we go. We are good to go. All torqued down. Get this guy upright again. Oh, yeah. We're still missing some stuff, but we're on our way. All right, that's a wrap on this episode, guys. Thanks for watching. We're getting there. We're getting there. We have a long block now. We just got to put the camshaft and the rest of the valve train, the valve covers, and the intake, and the water pump, and the fuel pump. Anyways, once we get all that stuff done, we're going to shoot this guy in some paint. It's going to look really sweet. But until then, tech tip of the day, take a contractor's bag. This works out very nice at this point. Slide it right over top. This is going to protect it from nuts and bolts and cigarette butts and chewing gum from falling into places you don't want it to fall. Pull it tight. Bungee cord. Good to go. You guys have a good one. I'll see you later.